it warrants, and I do want to at least make mention. I don't really want to dive into this because I have other stuff I do want to get to, but we have not really touched on George Kliavkoff's comments, the commissioner of the Pac-12, who now has another reason why the Pac-12 TV deal hasn't been signed just yet.
Did you hear this, Paul?
Yesterday, part of the reasoning was that they don't have a TV deal yet because the networks are going to be reacting to Deion Sanders now being at Colorado. So that's what part of the holdup is.
Well, Bob Thompson, I saw on Twitter, reacted to that and said, "Look, Deion's great for the conference in the immediate future, but coaches don't affect TV deals."
No,
quite honestly, because if you sign a TV deal that's 10 years with the Pac-12, do you know Deion's going to be there in 2? You don't.
No.
And any coach.
And odds are he's definitely not going to be.
Yeah.
You know.
I wouldn't put my money on Dan Lanning or Kalen DeBoer in 2 years because that's how coaching works.
Right.
Even if they're doing well, it's just things change so fast now.
It was just a weird comment that Deion was somehow having an effect on the holdup, if you wouldn't even want to call it a holdup in their television deal announcement. But that is what he said at one point. That it was had to wait to have the reaction to Deion and what he brings to the Colorado brand and all of that. So that was kind of funny, and there was definitely a number of people who were like BS and shooting that down, including Bob Thompson, longtime TV executive, who's like, we never did a deal based on the head coach of a team, like income or anything like that. So that's one thing that was said. But also he apparently made mention, according to John Wilner, that part of the reason for the delay in Pac-12 media rights was because media companies don't do business as much in the second half of December. So stuff I've never thought about, apparently creating a little bit of a holdup on this Pac-12 TV deal. Now, he did mention UCLA and the whole Board of Regents factor with that. Now, that is a part of, I think, at least explaining away some delay is, okay, is UCLA in or out? I mean, that needs to be figured out. And I would venture and I would bet that they're out. Like, they're going to end up in the Big Ten when all is said and done. But there's enough of a pause to this and enough of a tiny little question that they could somehow, be forced to stick around, that would obviously change the TV deal. You'd have an LA team still, and that'd be another team that you were expecting to not have that is, in fact, with you. You'd only be losing USC. So I just wanted to make mention of that, there is some legitimacy to the UCLA thing, but the Deion comment, that's ridiculous. And the whole not doing business in the second half, that's ridiculous too. I don't know what he's pulling. Just go with the UCLA reason. That's all you got to say.
I would buy that the big execs who would sign off on that deal would be on vacation for the last part of the month because they can pull that for weeks at a time, and they'll do that. But it shouldn't. The point is, it shouldn't be at this point. And really, the UCLA thing is that would be, to me, the Pac-12 holding out the slimmest of hopes that would happen. But everything that's been discussed or occurred about UCLA to this point pretty much just says that the Board of Regents can't really do anything to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like I said, there's a microscopic chance, I guess, in the big picture, and probably better chances than microscopic, but just trying to lean on how small of a chance there is that this actually ends up in interrupting this massive exodus of LA schools to the Big Ten. But there is that slight chance, and so that's what I think the Pac-12 is sort of holding on to. But John Wildner followed up with Kliavkoff about the Deion comment, and Kliavkoff said, a single coaching hire doesn't materially change the value of your media rights, but hiring Deion will lead to more wins for Colorado, which leads to higher ratings, and ratings are an important measure of media evaluation. So you're supposed to get your deal done now, and Deion's not coaching for another few months. So I don't know how much, one, he wouldn't make that much of an impact regardless, and two, that reasoning's not much better. So just stick with the UCLA reason for why the TV deal's being held up, but there at least is some discussion about what is taking longer than, I guess, many expected for an announcement of some sort with the Pac-12 and their television deal. So chalk it up to what you want to. He chalked it up to a couple of different things, and I still think at the end of the day, UCLA is going to be out the door. All right,